Action! Live to the moment. Wow, it's like a Santa trucking moment. And it's exactly 5:12, making it local and global goal 17. So, first of all, when you drive, hands at 10 and 2, so focus time. Secondly, you want to protect your spine as you drive, and you may be turning on your radio. It is getting colder, and there is a lot of snow, and that makes for poor visibility. So, number one, you want to have windshield washer fluid topped. And secondly, you want to make sure your windshield washer and the wipers are working perfectly. So, you may put in windshield washer fluid and think, everything's great, and then your wipers need replacement. So check your wiper functioning before departing on a trip. Get your wipers fixed to make sure they clear it perfectly. So when they clear it, you see everything. Next, you want to make sure that the little nozzle that actually dispenses of the windshield washer fluid works too. Because it doesn't make a difference if you put tons of windshield washer fluid in and it doesn't spray your window. That can happen too. And it could also freeze. So, ways that you can prevent your windshield washer nozzles from freezing was you can cover that part. You can buy stuff at your local Princess Auto and or a Canadian Tire, and you can get it in Napa Auto Parts. They got lots of fun stuff there. So point being is, as you're preparing your vehicle, not only with your tires, because everybody thinks tires, but not everybody thinks windshield washer fluid and or wipers. Important parts. And also, another key point is check your tire condition. So if your tire is needing air, they will not work the same as if they have the right, and I mean not overinflated, not underinflated. It's like the Three Bears. You need to have the right amount of inflation in your tires. And that's for definitely long distance, but it's also for every day. In addition to the winter months, you have to, and I repeat, you must have one of those scrapers. Now, even if you have really good defrosters and foggers, there's time where ice accumulates, and unless you want to, sit in your car, which you shouldn't be idling your car for more than 3 minutes, you should have a scraper. So scrape that ice. And then once you scrape the ice off your vehicle and you have clear visibility on the front and the back, then you're ready to take it to the next level of traveling. And you always have to check your side view mirrors too. They can accumulate with ice, especially in those eastern provinces like the Maritimes and or the western province. You can get a lot of rain ice. We get some here in Ottawa too. So it can happen anywhere. And the point being is you check to make sure before you depart your side views, your front and your back, even the windows on the side. Good reminders and good first lessons for those that are yet to drive. The next point, you want to make sure that your seatbelt, and it seems like an obvious one, but your seatbelt is at the right level. Now, some cars have the ability to move it up and down, and some don't. Some are even intuitive to adjust it exactly for you based on a pre-programming height and weight scenario. But either way, you must have your seatbelt on. Next, you want to take a look at the importance of course, your oil. And how is your oil important for winter driving, you may ask? Well, you have a lot more functioning in the heater going on. So when you have more functioning internally, not only just driving, you'll put more demands on your oil. And you always should be checking your oil 5,000 kilometers or less. If it goes over 5,000, don't fret, but you should be thinking to get your oil checked. You can do it yourself if you know how, like I used to do, or you could take it to your local shop. Lots of places to choose from, and now there's apps to help with that too. Next pointer is that as you're traveling in and amongst the city, there's always going to be the importance of parking spaces. So bring a shovel just in the off chance that the plows and or those people that's supposed to clear your space at work haven't gotten it to yet. It's actually something that I've yet to have to be concerned with, but I've also watched people get to their work and the plows haven't got the opportunity to get there yet. Having a shovel can open up your space, park your car, and that's good instead of having to drive around the block and looking for another parking space. Another good heads up play with inside of winter driving is definitely to look to check all the levels of not just your oil and of course your windshield washer fluid, but all of your fluid levels. And you have to become familiarized with each one of those and what important steps need to be taken. Now, usually this is outside of the realm unless you're a mechanic and or inclined to be able to fix things. Take it to your local shop to get it fixed. And it's even better if you have something under your warranty. That always works well. And I remember having certain perks with certain purchases of certain vehicles that did include windshield washer fluid, coolant level check, alignment check, brake check. Oh man, that's all. Oh, and speaking of brake check, that is paramount. There's no doubt about it. It should always be done, but winter driving especially. And do mind your space between vehicles. And when you do, what's going to happen is you will not, I repeat, you will not be in the last second stopping and a little bit of black ice and sliding. I mean, I am no James Bond. However, I was able to do some spinning on some ice because it was quite slick. The snowplow had gone through. They'd put salt on there. But on a ramp and on a turn, the car slid. I continued to turn in the direction of the spin, and luckily the transport truck was far enough back that I could start continuing on after the car had recorrected itself with the proper spinning, turning, like a Mission Impossible moment, and continuing on. So I would convincingly say it's much better to not spin your car, even if you are a race car driver, and continue to travel at slower speeds, well beneath the speed limit when it's icy. And we're getting into that weather. So it is now exactly 8 minutes. These are my important heads up leads for the winter driving to keep safe, keep smart, keep alive, keep thinking forward, and take your time with good winter maintenance habits to make sure your vehicle is working well for you, for yours, for the family, and for your community members, because when you drive your vehicle, it needs to be operating at 100%. This is Mark Seleni saying happy winter is on the way, and Santa can see all. And he is watching for all those good boys and girls to make sure, well, that's exactly right. So stay good, stay right, stay even, keep thinking forward, and take your time out there. It will help.